Stop what you're doing. Remy Ma just turned a late-night chat show into a full-fledged crime scene. You're correct. It wasn't a satire or spoof, but rather a claim that Remy Ma was caught on camera using drugs backstage as if it were part of the script. So tell me, how did a platinum-selling rapper and a so-called transformed woman go from being featured guests to being escorted out in handcuffs by 2 police officers and a hairstylist who took her bag? Let's not pretend that this happened overnight either. It was supposed to be just another night on Lance Carter's after-hours show, complete with neon lights, a jazz band, and that cheesy yet charming setting where celebs go to promote their projects and act like celebrities. You can see the regret unfold in real time, with the crowd confused, the host's face frozen, and Remy oblivious. Whether Remy Ma has been living 2 lives the entire time, one in the wrong bag and one in the microphone, or whether it was a setup or a relapse is the crucial question. The video is really steep. Everything was going smoothly, and Remy Ma was the main attraction. Before the backstage camera, yes, the one that nobody was supposed to see, leaked, everything was planned. The producers were ecstatic, the hair was styled, and the public relations staff was upset. The video shows Remy stooping over a table, which is pertinent to our conversation on the viewpoints on energy surveillance in relation to the iCloud attack. She was allegedly not adjusting her microphone or applying makeup, but rather doing something that no PR in the world could possibly pull off. He spent 6 years in prison after shooting someone for a few $100s. The same woman who once assured Oprah that she had moved past violence and was now focused on helping women is lifting grams of mystery powder in a green room. The video is unsettling not only because of what she is allegedly doing, but also because it was taken only minutes before she went on stage. She was essentially wiping her nose and walking into applause as if nothing had happened. It has been crazy, but we have to remember who was in that room. As Remy is finishing up her moment of introspection, a young intern who is probably new and ignorant walks into the room. Based on his reaction, he saw something he will always remember. His lips dropped open as he seized a folder like a crucifix. People were present. Oh no. A makeup artist stood in the corner acting as though he hadn't seen anything, while a sound guy was drinking water uneasily, as though he had just walked in on a murder. Before the tape concluded, someone actually whispered, "Yo, is that May?" God bless this individual. How useful. Sadly for her, the internet saw everything within hours of the movie's release, despite the fact that it was a classic. My particular favorite moved from bars to behind bars, and Remy Maycott wasn't exactly at ease following hours of the outburst. Remy stared him in the eye and stated, "You didn't see anything." She looked a little too excited in some of her previous interviews and club appearances, and a 2019 video showed Fat Joe trembling and asking, "You good?" Because the after-hours show is live and does not have a delay or edit button, we saw chaos in slow motion just before her segment began, the audience clapping in confusion as the band continued to play, the conspiracy theories coming in fast. During the mid-con conversation and the producer's complete silence. No statement, no response, just radio static. If she had taken the stage 5 minutes earlier, we could have witnessed the first ever on-air intervention. The commercial cut to commercial just as Remy was about to speak, and when she finally reappeared, you saw that walk, that smile, and it was giving me the impression that I knew what I had just done, but you'll never be able to prove it. We'll never know if it was nervousness or something more sinister, but we do know that's when everything fell apart. Security was heard whispering into earpieces, and a woman with a clipboard ran past the curtain. Huh, so why was it asked? Was a satirical title for her new documentary series, Reminisce, Redemption, or Regret, which she intended to discuss. It wasn't Kanye Taylor's moment or someone dropping an F-bomb B. According to sources, the producers made the call mid-show, and allegedly one of the show's investors threatened to withhold funding if Remy appeared on air in that condition. Another source claims that the show's host, Lance Carter, declined to sit next to her after viewing the footage, allegedly telling staff, "If dear viewers, that's when the panic turned into protocol." With just 2 security guards, a tearful publicist, and a stunned Remy Ma being wheeled into a black SUV, Remy was silently escorted from the property without a cry or any commotion. Can you guess who was at the door, Papoose? Mr. Loyalty himself, the man who held her captive during her incarceration, who called her his ride or die for nearly 10 years, and who, according to one witness, looked at "you could cut the disappointment" with a knife because shortly after that SUV pulled off, someone, probably a staff member, shared a blurred-out portion of the backstage film. It was quiet and short, yet it created enough ire that TMZ published a blurry thumbnail and proclaimed it exclusive. Additionally, it led to police involvement because, well, it's now a legal concern. And guess what? We're going right there next. Because, well, it's a legal problem. Hours after the grainy video surfaced online, the NYPD announced they were looking into unsettling footage purportedly connected to Remy Smith, also known online as Remy Ma. It suggests that they are getting ready, and maybe even charging rather than just watching. But wait, it gets worse. The full, uncut, unedited, and raw surveillance footage was uploaded online by Burner X, a former Twitter account called Bronx Backstage Leaks Cute. In just 20 minutes, the video had amassed over 3. After 2 hours, it was shared by The Shade Room, Baller Alert, and even Barstool Sports, demonstrating that they also wanted a piece of this disaster. 2 million people had viewed it. After TMZ published a modified version of the story titled, "Remy Ma Caught Behind-the-Scenes Breakdown Sparks Police Interest," news outlets began portraying this as a criminal investigation rather than a playful slap on the wrist. An unidentified source close to the DA's office claims that we're talking about serious accusations of possession of drugs, endangerment, and probation violations, and we're not just... If you think this is just tabloid drama, let me explain. The program is under federal jurisdiction and government regulation because it was filmed in a huge network building. Shows that Remy Ma did it on network property rather than just breaking the law. The security crew, according to sources, is moving swiftly to ascertain who entered, what they brought in, and how the footage was first leaked. Even worse, there are rumors that the FBI might become involved because the substance that was captured on tape isn't just your average party favor. According to several gossip accounts, it was a schedule-controlled substance, the kind of substance that lands people in federal courtrooms rather than just rehab facilities. The Twitter threads, however, demonstrate how the public has become a theatrical disaster. One producer who wished to remain anonymous stated, "It wasn't just Remy, we all messed up. I'd take down the whole season." By comparing this tape to previous Remy interviews and examining the precise angle of her pinky to ascertain intent, TikTok detectives are tracking behavioral changes in a single video clip with many recordings. The video, which has received 7 million views, literally concludes with a girl saying, "You can't tell me she wasn't on something during her Wendy Williams appearance in 2021. Look at her eyes." It has turned into a real-time cultural investigation, meme war, and digital manhunt. And 12 hours after it first appeared, Papoose reappears. He posted a now-deleted Instagram story with the words, "You hold someone down for years." There were no tags or context, only heartbreak. The narrative was written in simple black letters on a white background. But that one message sent fans into a tailspin, leading them to wonder if he was aware of her actions all along, if he was over her, or if the divorce rumors were true. After that piece vanished, things really took off when Remy's notorious rival, Clarissa Shields, posted a mysterious tweet that simply read, "Quay karma, girl." It wasn't just messy, but for example, just 2 weeks ago, Clarissa publicly accused Remy Ma of living a double life. Even while fans chuckled and wrote the comment down as petty X energy, it is being brought up again as if it were a prophecy. If that wasn't enough, Fat Joe attempted to downplay the harm on Instagram Live, acting as though he was trying to avoid admitting that he had been taken by surprise. You are all aware that Remy and I have experienced this together, but let's not. It was reported that Ray's team had now hired a crisis PR team and that she was allegedly considering checking herself into a private treatment facility for exhaustion. Even The Breakfast Club got involved, with Charlemagne opening the show with, "If the footage is real, and it looks very real, then we've got to ask what Remy's running from, because it's not accountability. Judge before the facts come out." But baby, the facts already came out, and they came with high-def video and a possible arrest warrant. Here's that ancient method, honey, and the particular tea. According to a leaked direct communication between a confirmed stylist and a blogger, Remy wasn't even supposed to be on the program. Rather than a last-minute publicity hoax, it says, Remy requested a last-minute guest list spot after her team pleaded with producers for a swift win to change public perception after her alleged feud with Papoose. Adding insult to injury, a concert backstage crew member said on TikTok that they had informed the producers that she looked shaky. She didn't, and now the fallout is piling up like unfiled papers, and we're talking about a possible breach of contract lawsuit. It's Remy Ma, she'll pull it together. I questioned my boss, sweaty and babbling, are we sure she's good to go on camera? One of the show's sponsors, Glowfinity Cosmetics, has already removed all of the Remy-related ads and quietly released a statement announcing that they will no longer collaborate with artists that compromise their dedication to safe, strong women. It keeps getting worse since, according to unverified claims, Remy Ma has been formally barred from the network studio lot till further notice. Yes, she has been suspended and banned. This brings us to the last element, my friends, because you can know that when betrayal, legal action, and public opinion all come together, there will inevitably be a full-blown fallout. It is incredible that Remy Ma is now dealing with the biggest issue of her career after the cameras have been removed and the damage has been done, considering that her criminal history is already longer than a CVS. The Manhattan District Attorney's office has said that they are looking into recent reports of an incident involving a famous person at the after-hours show studio 48 hours after the video went viral. Translation: Remy Ma is being investigated for a number of criminal charges, including possession of a controlled substance, endangerment, violation of parole terms, interference with a live production set, and maybe intent to distribute. Indeed, there were whispers that the last one was being considered in private. The material in the leaked video wasn't for personal use, according to the DA's study, so this isn't Remy Ma messing up backstage anymore. Instead, moving cargo while getting ready to launch on a big network. The predicament is made worse by the fact that she is still formally on supervised release from her previous sentence. Let's face it, nobody wants to see Remy Ma in handcuffs. Therefore, Remy's legal team is negotiating a voluntary surrender, around the clock to prevent a surprise arrest or public takedown, according to persons familiar with the situation. In addition to possible criminal charges, Remy may now face a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from the network for safety violations, reputational damage, and violating studio rules. If you believed that was the end of it, you might think again, because government watchdog organizations are now involved. CBS Studios, the company that owns the rights to the After Hours program, has made public a zero-tolerance drug policy violation that might result in legal litigation. The FCC has received numerous complaints from viewers who think that something went wrong during the tape and who want to know why a possibly drunk guest was allowed to perform. Even though Ray's piece never aired, the audience was present and some of them had already spoken up. According to documents obtained by investigative journalist Lexi Monroe, Shay, a TikTok user from Harlem, went viral with a 3-part video titled, "I Was There When Remy Ma Got Snatched." The uploader claims, "We heard yelling backstage, then everything just stopped." In the midst of rap and celebrity allegations, everyone is leaving behind sponsors, businesses, and even close friends. The documentary series Reminisce Redemption, or Regret, was quietly canceled, as you may recall. Reimagining her image and eventually sharing her tale were the goals. The host announced that the show was ending early, and we didn't even have our Q&A session. Even worse, it appears that one audience member complained that they were mentally harmed by witnessing Remy being carried out during her breakdown. Nobody wants to be next to a sinking ship, especially one that's leaking evidence, an insider told Rap Report Weekly, adding that her honorary segment at the BET Awards was cut, that the magazine cover she was supposed to land next month was pulled, and that her own rap peers there were running faster than Travis Scott concertgoers. HBO Max, which is available on all streaming services, released a statement saying, "We are still dedicated to telling strong, inspirational stories, but in light of recent events, this project no longer aligns with our values." Can you guess who is currently helping law enforcement with evidence? The intern, yes, the same young man who broke in and caught Remy in the middle of the action, described exactly what he saw and acknowledged that it wasn't the first time in a fictitious, written statement to police. Let's face it, Remy Ma's reputation is damaged. Her marriage is in ruins. She could receive a prison sentence, and even whispers that she's done this time have begun to spread. Don't misinterpret, though. This assessment might be nothing more than a nice Airbnb with security cameras turned off, since no criminal attorney has verified that she has started treatment. Girl, she thanks her fans for their unwavering love and support. Ms. Smith is currently undergoing evaluation and will be entering a wellness facility for exhaustion, personal recovery, and mental clarity. Her PR team wrote in a carefully worded statement, going down without trying to spin the narrative. We've seen this screenplay before. It's PR rehab, not actual healing. Fans immediately honed in on a blurry paparazzi photo of Remy Ma swerving into a blacked-out Escalade that went viral, much like in a Zapruder film. The last straw was Papoos's enigmatic Instagram image, which disclosed more than just sadness. One person wrote, literally, "Enhance. I swear that's a bracelet from the county. Someone check that wrist." Other users weren't very funny. As one Twitter user put it, "From hip-hop and love to chains and shackles, y'all, the internet has no chill." The tweet went viral. Remy Ma, who was once hailed as the queen who went from jail to platinum, has plummeted more precipitously than ever. The vision is destroyed. The fairy tale is over. As she awaits her fate, indictments, hearings, and media hysteria, one question remains: is this the end or just the beginning? It has been implied by a number of those close to the pair that Papoose has formally moved out. They further claim that he has already left their shared home and has been spotted living alone in New Jersey. What are your thoughts? Did Remy pretend that everything was under control while spiraling behind the scenes the entire time? Or was this a setup or a cry for help? Is she being unfairly singled out? Or might this mark the beginning of something darker? Because, darling, if you think this is crazy, wait until the wiretaps are out. Remy Ma, the queen of comeback stories, finds herself in the middle of a full-blown crisis that includes shooting a talk show, viral footage, the possibility of an arrest, and the total collapse of her business. This could be the most significant celebrity breakdown of the year. If you're here for the drama, the receipts, and the details that these celebrities would rather keep private, click like, subscribe, and enable your notifications to make sure you never miss any in-depth look at the gossip spill vibe. If a career is ruined, exposed, or leaked, we pledge to be the first to break it. Finally, karma cashing in. Share your theories in a comment. Was Clarissa correct all along?